Why are these... Oh! Hey, curious bronies and Pegasisters. I'm Crimson Glow, and I am your future overlord of all things pony and otherwise in this world.
Fear me, for I will destroy you all with my malice!
After I get out of jail on good behavior, that is. Luckily, the guards here are allowing me some internet access, but are limiting me only to making videos that analyze pony kind. From headcanons, ships, episodes, and so on. I would be doing this at home, but...
My name is Crimson, place middle name here, Glow! You had my favorite villain killed! Prepare to die.
Just kidding? Well, at least I have something to do. Like, look at all these great headcanons that the fandom produces. Like Dr. Hooves being a real thing in the show. Luna betraying Equestria again, and that's how Chrysalis came into the castle undetected. Whether the sirens are the reason for all happenings going down 1,000 years ago. Or Sunset Shimmer being the 7th element of harmony. And so on. However, over the years of being a Pegasister with lack of wings, I have noticed that some headcanons are ones that shouldn't even be considered to be in the show, or written as fanfiction unless it's satire or comedy of some kind. Not to say that all headcanons are bad, or all these couldn't have had potential to become a cool or interesting fanfic or fan art. But I don't really think they have a whole lot of leaves on their branches. So let's do this list, shall we? My top 5 worst headcanons. Why top 5? Because top 10 is too mainstream! Just get to the list already. This one was probably meant as a joke. As a result, it is this low in comparison to all the others on this list. Which is it? The Xenia Headcanon, where Chrysalis is really a parallel universe twin of Xenia Flower. For those of you who were like me and totally in the dark when I first read about this, the Xenia Flower was a villain way back in the days of the first Sailor Moon movie, more specifically, the Sailor Moon R movie. Xenia Flower was the main antagonist of the movie. Think if Poison Ivy and Galactus had a baby, but she was more mind-controlling. Instead of feeding off of love, Xenia feeds off of the hatred of others with seeds that can turn into fairy-like and snake-like minions. Now, I can see some similarities between the two, and this might make a interesting crossover, but there's definitely not any potential here to be a part of the show. To say the two are similar in several ways is a very legitimate conclusion. However, I find that there's not really anything to go on with this. Yeah, it's just kind of there. I personally just find this particular headcanon a bit boring and lacking of a lot of evidence to support the headcanon. We don't even know if this is connected to this. And the theory of a parallel Earth is just a theory. Just like Bering Strait theory or Big Bang theory. It does have some potential, but it's not enough to warrant anything more than a few fan fictions. Apparently, Tartarus is the human realm, and by human realm, I mean the humans that are watching the show, and not EQG. Yeah. Why? Just why? I mean, the last time I checked, Tartarus was a place and or person In Greek mythology, where Titans, not that one! A place where Titans are supposed to overgo their eternal suffering. For this one, it's pretty obvious this headcanon is dropped harder than Discord when he was betrayed by Tyrek. It's only a little higher on this list of headcanons because other than it being a little stupid and making no sense, it has little to go on. And we don't have this kind of thing happening in this human world. The only way you could pull that one off is if you said, that's the reason for all our cryptos. Now, this one was interesting to say the least. Unlike the Xena flower theory from before, where Chrysalis and Xena are parallel twins, this one was a different approach to the Queen of Love Eaters. Chrysalis is Luna. Okay, first of all, we have seen Princess Luna disappear and reappear depending on if it's night or day. On the day of Cadance and Shiny Armor's wedding, Luna is no place to be found because it's mostly day for all of these episodes. And when it's evening, the main six are at a small cafe, far away from the castle. It's more likely that Luna was just working to bring the moon around the entire Earth, and not planning some giant takeover. I just find this a bit of a stretch, since Luna, as Nightmare Moon, wasn't that great of a planner when trying to take apart the main six, whereas Queen Chrysalis is doing everything maliciously and thoughtfully while trying to make Twilight look crazy. I can also see where they would make the assumption that Luna is a changeling since she changes her physical form. But as far as we know, she can only change from Luna to Nightmare Moon. But as far as changing into anything else, we only see that when she's in the dream world, which is probably something different. Luna being Chrysalis. Yeah, that's just a plain stretch. And although it might be used as a plot hole filler, it really fills nothing of the plot hole in itself. If Luna was Chrysalis, wouldn't she have been able to just bring the changelings in when she was flying into the dome as Luna? Yeah, I mean, come on. I'd stick with the whole Luna let the changelings in headcanon any day. I found that a lot of headcanons have to do with blood relations between either the main six, alicorns, even background ponies. Heck, we even had an episode dedicated to the possible blood relations between apples and the pies.
We're apples forever, apples together, we're family but so much more.
So it's no surprise that there would be ones with Discord being related to some pony like Screwball. However, being the father of Celestia and Luna? Well, yeah, I don't see the family resemblance. You could argue a few things, but personally, this just makes no sense. In the show, this would definitely not be a thing, partially because the writers wouldn't want it, and the other part would be because this gives us nothing to go on. Alicorns, as far as we know, are born from other alicorns, or from finishing a task of which grants them the right to being a princess, as we've seen with Cadance and Twilight. That would have meant that, at one point, Discord was an alicorn himself. Unless you believe the other headcanon, where a false alicorn can come from the union of a Pegasus and a unicorn, this theory is way out there. Though that still wouldn't help Discord as he is a Draconequus, which is considered a completely different species of creature altogether. As a fan of Discord, I also find it highly unlikely that he would have such normal-looking alicorns as children, for that matter. I can see Screwball being a daughter to him in some way because of how she acts and her overall appearance. With Celestia and Luna, the only odd thing about them is the fact that their manes move and sparkle. And that's about it. I will say that this wouldn't be the only reason to explain the fact that Celestia resents Discord so much from the very beginning. It doesn't sound like resentment or regret when she talks to him, unlike when she talks to Luna when she became Nightmare Moon. If Discord was family, wouldn't it stand to reason that she would have similar feelings as she did for Luna? Or have the slightest bit of hesitation? It seems a bit out of character for her to be that way if that's the reason in the show. I can see this being a satire of the episode and nothing more than that. I'm sure that a good writer could make this an intriguing story, but I would most likely not read this for the concept unless I was extremely bored or I just said bucket. I don't even know where this one came from. Don't get me wrong, I love it when people come up with great backstory or personalities for background ponies. Berry Punch is an alcoholic, Time Turner is the doctor, Lyra is obsessed with humans and is in relationship with Bon Bon, and so on. But seriously? This is by far the most ridiculous headcanon I have ever seen and or heard in my life thus far. Derpy is an immortal, omnipotent figure that transcends reality, disguises herself as a cross-eyed gray Pegasus as a cover, and her job is purely to observe everything for the royalty of Equestria, and this is the reason why we see her everywhere. Just know. By that logic, every pony from Ponyville is a member of the Royal Guard. Oh look, there's Berry Punch. Oh look, there's Vinyl Scratch. Oh look, there's Bucking Cloud Kicking. In the first 2 seasons, she was everywhere, sure, but you still see other ponies just as frequently because most of the episodes take place in Ponyville and Canterlot. I get that she was in the back row of the Canterlot wedding for some odd reason, but I would think that it would be more likely some pony from the original Bridesmaids invited her as a +1. And just because Derpy is there at the wedding and at Twilight's coronation doesn't mean that she is working for royalty and is supposed to be the bookman of My Little Pony. This has been your future evil overlord, Crimson Glow, and seriously, these headcanons are a thing? Hey guys, you're probably wondering how this one ends. Well, it ends with me telling you to leave a comment below. Maybe you know headcanons that are worse, or think that some of these headcanons hold some water. But I won't know unless you tell me. Your future evil overlord commands you to leave a comment below and subscribe to my channel, as well as visit these other people that helped me make this video. Thanks for watching my video, and I'll see you next time.